Hi everyone, it's Jenny here from The Bear and the Fox. I'm back today with another roundup of books, but today is a little bit different because usually I'm sharing recommendations for picture books and chapter books to read with your kids. But I do also get asked a lot if I ever have time to read books for myself. And if so, could I share some of those books? And the answer is yes I do, and yes I can. So let's get started. I have my reading pile that sits next to my bed to share with you. I get through maybe about 1 or 2 books a month, so this pile should keep me good until Christmas. First is a book I've actually just finished reading. It's called Brave by Rose McGowan. It's her autobiography. You may recognise her name from the Me Too movement that's been in the media. She was one of the first to break the silence against what was going on in Hollywood. I have to admit, I didn't really know much about Rose other than having watched her in Charmed, the TV series. But I went to see her at the Edinburgh International Book Festival last month and I found her talk really inspiring, so I went and borrowed this book from the library just afterwards, and it's an incredible life story. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just incredible what she's been through and how she's come through the other end, and yeah, it's an inspiring read and it's one that I would recommend. So the other books in my bedside pile are ones that I haven't finished reading yet. I've started some of them I've yet to start. I have this thing where I usually have a couple of books going on at the same time, so depending what mood I'm in, I can just pick up this or that book to continue reading. So the next book in my pile is called Out of the Blue by Sophie Cameron. I think officially it's a young adult book, though personally I'm not really a fan of categorizing books by ages. This is one that I was also introduced to at the Edinburgh Book Festival at a session I went to see, and I was really intrigued because, well, for one, it features angels falling from the sky, and I just want to know what happens next. But also it's set in Edinburgh and I'm a big fan of books set in Edinburgh, so that's how this ended up on my to read pile. Next is another book that I discovered through the Edinburgh Book Festival. It's the Anna Karenina Fix, Life Lessons from Russian Literature by Groskop. Now, I have to hold up my hand and admit that I have never actually read any Russian literature. I did start The Master and Margarita once, but I didn't finish it. And I actually ended up in Viv's session through work, but it was absolutely brilliant. Viv is a brilliant speaker. I think I probably would have enjoyed it even if she'd been reading from the phone book. She was just such a natural. But her book also sounded really fascinating. It features, I think it's 11 classic Russian authors and what we can learn from their books. So it's a slightly different kind of sort of self-help manual as one way of looking at it. And I've started reading it and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really glad that I ended up at Viv's session. Next is another life story that I've borrowed from the libraries. It's called The Gender Games by Juno, Dawson, and the subtitle is The Problem with Men and Women from Someone Who Has Been Both. I've started this book and it's really gripping and really well written, and it's basically an exploration of gender and society's expectations and perceptions of gender. And Juno tells not only her own story, but the story of everyone who is shaped by society's expectations of gender and what we can do about it. And as anybody who has read my blog or follows me on social media probably knows, I have a 7-year-old boy who absolutely loves pink. He loves wearing his hair long. He's quite happy being a boy. He's very clear about that, but he is a boy who falls outside of society's gender norms and gender stereotypes. It's something that he has struggled with, that we've struggled with as a family, and we've battled as a family and we have weathered the storm. So I am quite interested to read the rest of this and see what Juno has to say about this topic. Next is another book which I think is actually also from the young adults book section. It's The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson, and it's based on the Russian Baba Yaga folktale. I bought this book after going to see a play with my 7-year-old earlier on this year about Baba Yaga at the Edinburgh International Children's Festival, which puts on lots of great theatrical performances for kids. And after having seen the play, I kept seeing this book popping up on Instagram about Baba Yaga. So I thought I have to read it. And it features Baba Yaga's granddaughter, who dreamed of a normal life where her house stays in one place long enough for her to make friends, but her house has chicken legs and moves on without warning. Marinka longs to change her destiny and sets out to break free from her grandmother's footsteps, but her house has other ideas. So this is one that I haven't actually started yet, but I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into this one. Last but not least on my pile, I love myself a good crime novel, so this is my latest crime novel fix from the library. It's Cara Hunter's In the Dark, and the synopsis of this one is: a woman and child are found locked in a basement room, barely alive. No one knows who they are. The woman can't speak and there are no missing persons reports that match their profile. The elderly man who owns the house claims he has never seen them before. The inhabitants of the quiet Oxford Street are in shock. How could this happen right under their noses? No one is as innocent as they seem. Now, I haven't started this one yet. I only just borrowed it the other day, but I have read some of Cara Hunter's other books, particularly Close to Home I thought was a brilliant one, so I am sure that this one is also going to be good. So that's it. That's all the books in my to read pile that I will be working my way through in the next couple of months. I'd also love to know what you're reading, so if you have any great recommendations, do pop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, then please do like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye!